buttons and stuff. Oh my God, it's been a while. Moving the lights, cueing them, making it. But Hell Week, it depends on what kind of like production. I think with like dancers, it's a lot more tedious because the points have to be exact, so we have to practice each thing a few times. Hell Week with a theater, like a play with like a beautiful set. Ooh, so much fun when things break.
And welcome back to another edition of Art of the Bay Sessions. Today, we are joined by our really good friend, Kristine. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy that we were able to move the entire studio up to Colorado.
Yes, incredible. Thanks for going over those mountains. Those Rockies, man. It's insane.
They don't lie.
The portable podcasting studio is the way to go. Yeah, right on the wheels.
I'm glad everything made it in one piece too.
Right.
Like it doesn't seem like everything moved. But thank you so much. I'm so happy that you made it out here. How does it feel being back in the Bay? More snow than you anticipated?
Oh my God, I love being back. It's just like everyone texts you just going, "Hey, I heard you're here. Let's hang out. What's going on? What's your itinerary?"
Yeah.
Man, it's just been back to back and it just feels good to see family especially.
Yeah. And at the time of our recording, we just, we're world champions again too. So what are the odds of you coming back to that?
How about them Warriors, right? Oh man, that's why I come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you picked probably the best time to come back. Like you knew what was going to happen.
Not really, but my dad immediately was like, "Warriors, let's watch."
Yeah.
But moving to Denver, it's all about sports there too.
Oh, is it really?
Like I guess I got to be a Broncos fan now. Super obsessed with hockey as well. The Avalanches are doing really well. They played their first game against Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm all about that bandwagon life.
I feel like they have one of the better hockey names because it feels authentic to like where the city is in. Right. You know what I mean? Or the state, I should say.
Yeah, Colorado. I like Sharks. I mean, you got our Tiburones here.
Yeah. The Tiburones are actually a better sounding name than Sharks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all you hardcore.
Whoops, San Jose. Whoopsie.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, obviously you're I think one of the last few folks from the core Art of the Bay crew members that finally we got onto the podcast. So I'm very honored to have you here today. If folks didn't know, all the amazing VO that you hear throughout all the episodes, I actually since day one really has been thanks to you. So I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's that announcer, hello.
And now, Grow Canvas Grow proudly presents the Bay Area's Art Party of the Year, Art of the Bay Homegrown. Starting off the show, an interview with the highly talented Addie Miyako, featuring her whimsical color illustrations and Botan tarot deck.
My inspiration is Pokemon, Jesse and James. That's my inspiration for a lot of announcer voice. Jesse, James. I always did a lot of those impressions.
Is it a combination of one or the other, or the two of them at that point?
Combination.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesse, James. But yeah, thanks for having me. I love total blast just being a part of this entire project of yours. Like anytime you text me, like you got the script out, you've got everything laid out for me. It's like easy peasy.
I think it's just more. We'll get into that from your experience with doing a lot of plays and different shows, but I think it's just pretty much at least from my memory, from work really, because we had I forget his name, the photographer and videographer that we had at Copper, but he was like really amazing at what he did too. And I would just see them on set, like pretty much doing like, of course, a grander scale version of all this, but just them doing the production notes of everything and writing everything. So I think it's just all just from experience and just kind of just making it up on your own too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Props to copywriters.
Oh yeah.
I can't write a script at all. Hell no. My company, and we hired a full-time copywriter for all our marketing and scripts.
Yeah.
That's like full-time job. It makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. My friend Miriam, who we had on the podcast, yeah, she's a copywriter, and I can't even everything that I've seen her do from those companies when we work together. It's just amazing that I'm just like,
right.
It totally makes sense why it's like a full-time profession, just because when you're creative and can put that on paper,
and not sound cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cringe line. Okay. Jingles. Okay.
Because even when I try to do it for our social media stuff, it just takes forever. I'm just like, I really wish I could just hand this off to someone else.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, you write enough for me to kind of wrap up. I mean, I don't really change it up at all. It's just
I totally leave it up to you too if you want to improv like a couple of lines too. And I think from the times that you've had, they just sound even more authentic because you're just kind of like going off organically, and it just sounds like pure, if that's the word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. I'm like sweating in there, just like doing it over and over.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear your voice and you step away from your booth. I have like my own makeshift tent. I've shown it to you. My little like blanket fort at home. And once I step out of it and listen to myself away from there, I'm like, that was a little. The perfectionism kicks out, and I'm like, I need to go back in there and do it 10 more times.
Yeah.
It gets better and better the more you do it.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that because I really want to know from not only our projects, but then from all the other projects that you've done voiceover work for, that what the process goes behind all those. But let's go to the beginning. Let's rewind back a little bit. Since you're originally technically you're from the Philippines, right?
Right.
Yeah, but the Bay is one of your homes. I guess start us off when when you started working out here in the city, like what were or I guess even school really, like what schools did you go to when you were out here in the Bay?
Yeah, out here, San Francisco proper. Grew up as a Filipino. My dad is like a jack of all creative trades,
right.
Like inspired us to do music, made us do piano lessons, made us do dance.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really until high school, at Lowell High School. Lowell High School. It's not doing so well right now, but is that I was like, I want to do theater.
Yeah.
There's a great theater group here. Like we did competitions, we did annual musical, annual play. Like it was some serious stuff.
Yeah.
With my teachers, like we did like some Shakespeare. We did I wouldn't say we did like the real crying kind of theater, but we did like learn about Maslow and all that.
Yeah.
What does Daniel Day-Lewis do? That really insane type of acting.
Yeah.
We learned of the theory of that type of acting, but never actually did it.
Like method acting and
method.
Yeah.
Oh, I did know a kid who was really into that method life. It works out when you're a teenager and you're very emotional already.
I never thought about it that way, but you're kind of just taking something that may have already happened to you and like just using that at that point. It
was a perfect time to explore theater, and the creative expression in high school was so important. I think my parents knew that. It's like she is passionate about something. She has an area where she can really just express herself.
Right.
If it's not at home, it's on stage, it's singing. Because it's just, so that was really I was always into theater. I always wanted to be an actor of some sort, something creative. And always like growing up, I made my own movies.
Oh, really?
I did my own little voiceovers. I mean, you're talking about a stop motion project. That's literally what I did with my little dolls.
Awesome. Yeah.
Very analog.
Yeah.
So you got those. I had my auxiliary cords, just like that's how I edited. I didn't use any computers yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we didn't have that technology available back then either. Like not like in like a consumer level,
right?
Anyway, you know. Yeah. Who would you want to like voice as like anything really? Like it could be a cartoon or like an animation. Like what would it be at that point?
I would love to be in a video game, actually. I love that. I did another voice acting group lesson where it's like, it's so fun. It's just like
yeah.
Like you get physical. Of course. But yeah, just to be like, I love Assassin's Creed. Like if I could just be somebody screaming that gets stabbed or something, how fun would that be? But I love I have a flair for the dramatic. So like maybe a serious video game, a horror video game.
Oh, yeah.
Would be great.
Yeah.
Silent Hill reboot. Ooh.
Yeah. They are making like a couple of different reboots now, especially like Resident Evil has like, they're redoing like all the
everything.
Original.
Resident Evil 4. I can never play those games though.
Really?
I have to watch those Let's Plays. It's too. We talked about anxiety earlier. That thing is just. I'm screaming just watching it. So fun though.
Yeah. The one I think that was probably like the last one I played was on the GameCube, like the original Resident Evil 4. And yeah, it does, especially back then. Like the graphics were way advanced for the time that it didn't really spook you. Like when you went around some corner that you didn't realize that something was going to happen.
Chainsaw guy.
Yeah, the chainsaw.
Did you see the trailer for the new reboot?
It does look really good. Like I'm just the thing with that, I was just talking to my brother-in-law about that they've rebooted or put it on so many consoles now that it feels kind of like redundant. But we'll see how it plays out like when the final version kind of comes out. So it'll be good.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to actually go back and see because I was looking at your LinkedIn earlier and I saw that you went to UC Irvine. Is that correct?
Zot. Yep. It's a wolf.
Is that what that is?
It's a silent wolf. Oh no, it's supposed to be an anteater. But this is silent wolf. I used to be a after-school teacher, and this is silent wolf. But Zot still, but Irvine.
Nice.
Loved it.
How was your time there, and what did you major in over there?
Oh my God, what a blast! I went to City College for 2 years, then 2 years at Irvine. Majored in theater. Like my mom and my parents let me do art, but wow, was it so much fun! Like I got all my those requirements out of the way where you have to do like math and all that. And the 2 years at Irvine was strictly like theater, film. Like all like the theory classes. I got to work backstage a lot and like be around the MFA actors.
Yeah.
It was wow. It was like summer camp.
How did you pick out that school specifically for that program?
Yeah, I actually got into UC Berkeley.
Oh, okay.
It was more so like theater, more on the theory of theater. I think that's what their program was. It was also more expensive than UCI, which is weird. But I thought, I'd just stay at my parents. I wanted to get away. And UCI was like a few thousand cheaper. So, but it does have a pretty renowned theater program. Actually, if you're getting your MFA, it's renowned. But I thought, if I'm there, if I'm around those actors, these like really cool teachers, then, and also just to get away from home. It's a way to grow up.
Right.
Like let's leave home for a bit, see what I'm like without my parents and away from my support system.
Right.
But yeah, their program we had our own little island, the Arts Island, with multiple theaters, multiple galleries, and the group of people that you meet there, everyone is just so serious. When majority of us are not even in the arts anymore.
Well, I was going to say, how's the range of characters there? I usually like to ask that because, when I went to art school, there's like a range full of different characters of like the serious artist, and then there's just kind of like the kind of loose artist, I guess.
I'm just here to party and sleep with actors. Oh, there were definitely those.
So I would imagine there's a scope there when it comes to different characters.
You look at anyone's LinkedIn, everyone joined the same startup. Everyone joined the same startup, which is really funny to see. Good range. There's like the folks who got like the honors. They're still doing it today.
Oh, that's cool.
They're working in community theaters as artistic directors at theaters. And then there's people like me who is just like, I gotta get a job. I gotta pay the bills. But yeah, it's just so funny to see everyone works at the same startup. Just refer all your friends there. If I stayed down there, that would have been a different story because I thought, okay, I'm close to LA. Mm-hmm. Let's try to make it. Let's try to do some auditions. And, I don't think I didn't have the tough skin at the time coming fresh out of school. I definitely needed to be near my family.
Yeah.
Dare I ask what in the world we're about to do? Drifting on the highway like we always do. We're on a hydroplane.
Hello, we hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. Many of the studio items are made from local artists. Learn more about each artist in the episode description. Thanks again, and let's jump back to the episode.
Were there any of the programs that you enjoyed more than others when you were in school? That because like what is a typical schedule at that point? Because I'm used to just like either traditional high school where it's just like math and all these other things, and then in my head, from what I remember of art school, there would be like 3D modeling classes. There would be just light programming just to get your ideas into like a game. What is it like in the theater world? Like what are the normal kind of classes that you kind of go through at that point?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but a good even balance of, oh my God, the best classes were like, you got like your movement class, you've got I took speech twice. That was like the most fascinating one. And then you got like a theory class where it's just some old professor talking about how terrible Facebook is or something. he got me there. And what's so great about like getting all your extra credit stuff out of the way, it's like 3 great classes, very interesting classes in one day. If you're in a show, you're practicing at night. If you're a part of the production crew, that's you working. I love it. Hell Week. Hell Week is a thing in theater. You could be doing a few shows a quarter. Nice little schedule. I didn't even have a job. I wasn't working. I was just doing school, hanging out with friends. But nice simple schedule of your theory class, your hands-on class, and then you've got like some production work at night, which is fun. And I guess hit the town, go to a party after a cast party of some sort.
Right. Can you describe from what you remember what a typical Hell Week would look like when it came on crashing down?
Ooh. Is that Metric song?
I don't know, maybe.
Sounds like that Metric song that I sent you. I'm thinking one of the last things that I worked on was actually I lighting designed a MFA dancers like entire like thesis, and it was like 10 different dances. Probably like 40 dancers.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just there with my computer, my big buttons and stuff. Oh my God, it's been a while. Moving the lights, cueing them, making it. But Hell Week, it depends on what kind of like production. I think with like dancers, it's a lot more tedious because the points have to be exact. So we have to practice each thing a few times. Hell Week with a theater, like a play with like a beautiful set. Ooh, so much fun when things break. It's like, okay, let's redo that thing fell apart. Let's go back and fix it. That holds us back a few hours. So patience and listening really closely to cues, sitting around. I don't remember having a smartphone while I was at Irvine. Just like patience to sit around and watch people all day. But what I love about theater and Hell Week is that you can be really nitpicky about the different cues that you're working on. The light cue, the sound cue has to be perfect. I actually went to recently. I saw The Shining, an opera version of The Shining, and it was preview week, and they were doing the part where he was it was actually a crochet mallet in the book. So it was a crochet mallet hitting the door, and like the singer couldn't see what was happening. So she just missed her cue. They stopped. They went back. The orchestra had to go back as well.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing about theater. It's like completely organic and in the moment. And whatever happens, it's that moment.
Yeah.
And Hell Week is when you can really like torture the actors under your strong lights.
Right.
Do it again.
Is it multiple shows or is it just one show once you actually get to showtime?
For this MFA lighting design project I did, that was like 5 shows.
Oh, okay.
And I was running the lights.
Yeah.
You usually would have somebody do the lights for you, but I was running the lights.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Could have gotten someone else, honestly. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, 5 shows, thankfully. I've never done anything more than 6 or whatever. Even in my musical theater days as a teenager, it's just 6 shows.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, because I know that there's some that it's just like one night or two night performances, but there's some that go for like a week long. So either way, like it's just
in school.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see like how you're able to do it multiple times. Like I would imagine too, it's helpful because by hopefully the 3rd or 4th one, it does give you a better idea of like what to expect.
Right.
But still, it's a lot to ask from anyone really, like the actors to the production people to do that multiple times.
Over and over, the emotional toil. The place I interned at, it was Magic Theater at Fort Mason. We did month-long shows. 4 shows a week, I think, at least. Because you got that matinee on Sunday. You also have to, like, you're still in rehearsals too. If you need to rework a scene. Those were long, but fun. And you do remember the lines. You realize like that was off. What's happening with the actor today?
Yeah. Those little cues that
they missed their cue. They said the note wrong.
Yeah. Because even for me, when I go see shows that I've seen maybe multiple times, like I've seen Hamilton. Yeah, of course.
You're singing it just like.
Then when you kind of notice something offbeat or even if they're slightly off on something, you kind of notice it. But that's only because I've seen it so many times.
And heard it a million times. Yeah.
But yeah, I would imagine if you're on like an actual production of it and know how it's supposed to go from start to end, that it's a lot easier to pick up when something feels off.
Is that the right word? Ephemeral? Ephemeral.
Yeah.
It's of the moment. Put the definition out like that was completely wrong.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of theater. Voiceover, it's there. Cartoons, it's there for your rewatching purposes.
Yeah. With that, how did you initially start? Like what was like kind of your transition, or what finally motivated you to finally get into that space of doing more professional voiceover work?
Yes, thank God for the pandemic. The pandemic is a great motivator to get into something that you're actually passionate about. Because being stuck in a dead end corporate job is not the go-to.
We won't name any names, but
yeah. So the pandemic was a great impetus for that. I had my friend Alan Lee walk me through on like what's the best equipment. We spent tons of money on just the mic alone is like $1,000+. And then, oh my God, the everything. So, but in terms of like getting work, my husband's startup was the big one. We did like, it was like a 200 word, like marketing video. Wow. It took me hours. Just re-recording every paragraph. So that was like the true impetus. The marketing side is really tough for me. There's workshops around that, which I'm in sales, so I should actually know this. It's like doing a cold email, reaching out to companies. It's hard to also network. Like it would have been great to go back to that convention, that anime convention that I went to, just like meet other voice actors and ask them some advice. But you couldn't do that during the pandemic. But yeah, that was really the big impetus was my husband, a little bit of nepotism there.
Yeah.
And reaching out to building that website was very fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the stuff, like building your own reel for voiceover is also really fun.
Yeah.
As a business owner, you want to provide your employees and customers with the safest and cleanest environment possible. With Ultra Cleanse, we help you do just that and more with our high-powered UVC mobile tower system. Made with state-of-the-art technology, our machine uses strong UVC rays to rid your premises of harmful microorganisms without any human input once it's switched on.
It gives you that creativity and that fun to be like, okay, I'm compiling everything that I've done so far, and I get to produce it in the way that I want to, for others to view me as, and I think that's like really fun to do.
It's like social media.
Yeah.
You build your portfolio website. You're like, this has to be the best, the highlight reel.
Yeah. I think we were talking about it before. Same thing during the pandemic when I would show you some virtual shows that would be doing like some workshops with voiceover work. Has that happened to you where, or I should say, would you want to do that more where like you would want to network with more voiceover artists just to kind of see? Because it seems like it's always that same story of sometimes they may not fit the role for this specific voice because the casting wants like a really specific voice. So then they might reach out to like their circle of like friends and networks because they might know like what they might know a voice that matches like that specific role. Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Just like, because any kind of like networking group I did, it's like a workshop that I pay hundreds of dollars, even if it's virtual.
Yeah.
So the networking part is really tough to do on a virtual side. But what was also really great is there's a big community in Novato. Strawberry Hill Studios, the owner there, like I'm friends with him. He got me a little bit of work as well. I did like a jingle for some energy company that I don't think is doing well right now. That was my first paid gig, even before the work with my husband. Whoa, see, forgetting everything.
Yeah.
But the communities that you have, like find some kind of local community, local studio is very easy.
Yeah.
Got to do that for Denver now. So, and keeping those people close, those types of connections close, because I know with Strawberry Hill, I could just reach out and say,
right.
A big tip that he gave me actually was like, get into the whole Tagalog Filipino voiceover scene. Like just find like a Jollibee commercial and like film your voice doing that. And if I have my Tagalog reel, that would make me very, very competitive.
Very true. Yeah. Going back into some of the hobbies that you and I both enjoy, of course, we, like you mentioned, we go back and forth on like movie and music recommendations and everything. How has it been for you growing up in like a Filipino Asian culture now, seeing how much that's progressed throughout the years? Because I would imagine seeing all those kind of influences that we were talking about earlier, like in voiceovers or cartoons or movies, that the representation wasn't as much back then, but now it's amazing to see like how much progression there has been in every field, really, when you look at it, when it comes to movies, music, TV shows, everything. Like how has that been for you, seeing that progression?
Oh, it's been great. I love watching like Minari, for example. I can't wait for, actually I have a friend, a director in LA. He's up and coming Filipino director. I'm waiting for him to collaborate with A24 and he'll like make the Filipino culture and name big in America, but so incredible to witness. We're at a great turning point. And I can't wait to be like this old Asian lady actress in an A24 movie one day. So it's, the influences. I mean, growing up, I always thought like, Lucy Liu, Charlie's Angels, one of my favorite movies, actually. So anytime you see an Asian actor, it's like, rooting for you forever. But it's been really cool to witness, and Asian voices, Asian stories coming to light more so. This is kind of why I'm really into, not a lot of them, but I've been watching a few K-dramas recently. There Have you watched any?
I've seen the rise of it because I've seen people's like Instagram stories, and it's like everyone is really getting into it.
Yeah.
That I remember people maybe doing it early in the 90s, but of course, like we didn't have social media. But now that like since it's more available to kind of show what you're watching, I see a lot of people just constantly putting out an IG stories of like,
right.
Yeah, like I'm watching this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow. It's
South Korean culture all the way. I highly recommend this one called Startup.
Oh, okay.
You'd like it.
Okay.
It's actually a good balance. It's pretty like cheesy romantic comedy, but still pretty high stake. Like you would know all that like startup stuff, like funding.
Yeah.
It's like so stressful, but still a good lighthearted balance.
Yeah.
So I recommend that.
Nice.
But just Asian culture everywhere. Let's keep it up. I can't wait for like Crazy Rich Asians Part 2.
I saw one the other day where I went to go watch the Bob's Burgers movie, and the trailers that they were showing beforehand, I guess Joy Koi has his own movie too.
What?
Like it's like based it's like a Filipino family scenario, and they're based here in the Bay Area. So it's like
movie?
It's a movie.
Okay.
I'll look it up. Of course I'll look it up after we're done recording.
Have I not seen this?
But,
I love Joe Koi.
Yeah. It's just cool to see it because when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's amazing. It's literally like a bunch of the people who I grew up with, because I have so many Filipino friends that I grew up with in the Bay Area. It's literally like that representation of them when they were growing up. So I thought it was really, really cool.
Okay. Well, that is on the list. We need more of that. I can't wait for this explosion of Asianness all over the country and in our culture, diaspora. It's pretty cool to witness. Did you see Everything Everywhere All at Once yet?
That's definitely on my list. Like that one I've heard nothing but praise for.
Michelle Yeoh. That's like idol, queen forever.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that one. If you grew up with an Asian mom, it's just like, yep, it's so relatable.
Yeah.
Not the fighting and the time traveling.
That's the only part I can relate to, though.
Yeah, right. Deep.
Especially the time traveling part.
Multiverse. It's multiverse, actually. Like, this is not a Marvel movie? What? So good. Highly recommend. Yeah. Any kind of, I mean, Minari. I mean, you and I watched that together from far away, and it's like the tears, the highlighting of like Koreans in Arkansas. Like we need those types of like very like those small stories that happen in the U.S. and how it just melds with American culture. I really like. What did I read recently? I read Pachinko. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And there's an Apple show.
Yeah. It just started right on Apple.
I think it started in March. I gotta start it.
Yeah. I heard about that one recently. I want to check out both the book and the show.
The book is so good. You're gonna cry.
Oh no.
You ever cry during reading a book? Like,
not since high school, but maybe it's time to revisit that, I think.
It's only 400 pages. Very easy read, actually.
Nice.
Very easy read.
I'll give it a spin. I don't know what you call when you want to read a book. What would be the
Give it a turn.
Give it a turn. There.
Give it a turn. Yes.
Awesome. So as we wind down, because I want to be respectful of our time here.
Of course.
Looking back at what we were just talking about, has there been a favorite project of yours, either something that you've worked on or collaboratively with all the different shows that you've done that you would say are some of your favorites?
Oh, man. I just don't feel like I've done enough, honestly. But though I don't remember them. It's been so long. Yeah, it's just the beginning. This will be whatever project I could find here and there. Favorite project is probably long pause. Favorite project, because it's just been like so much time in between all of them.
Or I guess maybe something that stands out from some of your favorite shows. Maybe that's something that kind of triggers it. Yes.
I love working on this stuff with my husband's company. What's funny is that he plays some of that to his team, and someone actually said that it sounded too liberal. The voice is too liberal. Like, liberal? What's that? I took it to offense, but I love how he keeps using my voice because it's like, it's relatable.
Yeah.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
So they're always just very willing to just collaborate with me and a good team to work with. So, but absolutely this project. Anytime you send me a script, I'm always having a blast. Just like, this artist, that. It's always really fun just to see your copywriting skills.
Oh gosh.
Like, there we go. Nando did it again.
That's definitely one thing I wish I could just find someone who loves doing it that will just do it for me.
Art of the Bay.
I know you mentioned the video games part. Are there any other dream projects that you would want to work on in the future? I guess you already mentioned some of them with the...
No, I thought of another one.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I would love, oh my God, any Star Wars, like Jedi Fallen Order style kind of video game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
How I'll get there, we'll get there.
Even if it's a line where it's like you're a bartender and like, sir, you forgot your lightsaber.
Sir, you want to buy some death sticks? That was me. I was the video game version of that.
That'd be cool if they took like some resemblance where it's like a green alien, but it still kind of looks like you.
You gotta make it diverse. So get my face, put me in there. You want to buy some death sticks? I could do that.
And then you could be Raver number 3 in the background, just like.
Whoa. Very fun.
I think that would be awesome. And I think you're more than capable of doing that. I just can't wait to see like what you do in the future, because I think that's all it takes is what we were talking about earlier, is just opportunities and just kind of just going out there and networking with people, and I think it can happen.
Jumping in on that, it'll happen. It'll if, like I said, if I become that old Filipino lady in the background, that's awesome.
Yeah,
part of it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Like, I literally know we can go for like another hour or two just bouncing off of like our favorite shows and movies and everything. So
yes, a lot to catch up on.
I think we might save that one for another day. So we'll definitely get to it.
Yes. Thanks, Nando.
Are there any shout outs or plugs that you wanted to give out before we head out of here?
Shout out to cut this. Shout out to all those kick-ass Asian actors out there. Michelle Yeoh, I love you.
There you go.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Watch it.
It's going to go on. Once I see it, we'll put it up on like the recommendation list for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because I know for sure I'm already going to like it based on everyone giving me the thumbs up. Well, thank you so much. Like, again, it's going to be hard to move the studio back now.
Yes. It took the mountains.
It took like a week to get here, so it's probably going to take the same amount to get back. So.
Good luck. Wow. Put it on a snowboard.
There you go. I'm sure it'll find its way back.
Yes.
Well, cheers to, and congrats again on being a recent homeowner. So
thank you, Nando. Yes.
It looks lovely from the photos that you've sent me so far, so congratulations once again.
Thank you. Making waves.
Well, thank you so much, and we will definitely have you back sometime in the future whenever you sneak your way back into the Bay, and it's been a blast, and I want to thank you personally for everything that you've done for the show so far.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
Thank you, Nando. Same.
All right, well, with that, thank you once again for checking out this latest episode, and we will see you next time.
Thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. And Kristine, I love you and can't wait to welcome our baby this spring. Thanks again for listening, and take care.